Hello, my name is Kelly Haley Riley. I'm in the Master's Program for Human Service Counseling, and today's date is November the 3rd, 2024. I'm married, I have children, I have grandchildren. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I grew up in a two-parent home with two sisters. I was the middle child and suffered a little bit of the middle child syndrome. I have been in my current job for a while and was seeking something different. So, in today's topic, to define interpersonal communication to me is just how we relate with one another to create deeper, meaningful relationships. In these relationships, when we are in the role of a listener, it is my endeavor to provide a safe environment, which is judgment-free, to be open, and to be a real listener as opposed to a ritual listener, which is one of my personal barriers. I will engage to do better in that, of course. My behavioral blend is CIS, which is Competent Influencing Specialist. And this is basically saying that I am a passive individual who has terrible second-hand embarrassment. And that part is really true. It says that my leadership style is task-oriented for quality. As far as my background growing up, the type of home that I grew up in, it was very family-oriented, but not with a lot of communication. I grew up in an era when children were, seen and not heard, where your parents didn't really engage you in conversations that they felt were too adult. I think that has led me to be, honestly, the opposite of that. I think the earlier we informed, I think it molds us to be, better individuals. Some of my communication barriers, as I mentioned earlier, ritual listening is one of those. The nod is also one of those, and nod is where you ask the question, but you're not really asking the question. You're really making a statement. If someone is doing something and you want them to do the opposite of that, you say, don't you want to? Because you really want them to do what you're doing instead of what they're actually doing. Social media is probably my biggest communication barrier in that it prevents you from communicating. You spend a lot of time with oneself, scrolling through different videos, looking up different information. I mean, sometimes this is helpful, but it really takes away from your personal relationships. And then my other communication barrier that I suffer with the most would be facial expressions. I have a real problem with honing my facial expressions when engaging in conversations and something is said that is either distasteful, surprising, or just unbelievable. And my response is, even if I don't say anything, it is all over my face. As I was saying, that with my facial expressions, I can be saying something that's positive, but my facial expressions are saying the total opposite. And yeah, that's not good. As far as my goal is to be I'm more grateful in my relationships, and this is coming from Schultz and Baczynski's theory, where if we put God first in our relationships, it helps us focus better on our partner or the person that we are engaging in with communication, and then focus on ourselves. It's hard to be a good listener if you're continually thinking about your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And this also comes into play with Peterson's flat brain theory, where our emotions get so built up, and it just causes so much pressure on our heart, and we lack the responsibility because we've thrown it off to someplace else. And in order to fix this, it really helps if we, do a better job in our communication competence. And this all comes in, with Peterson's listening techniques, which a lot of them are very helpful. And the one I was saying earlier was the real listening versus the ritual listening. As far as the strategies goes, it says relationships are God-given, and it is my desire to handle each of them with more care. I will endeavor to properly order my desire to align with God first, my relationship second, and then myself. Matthew 3:33 says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." This will increase my communicative competence, meaning relaying messages effectively by being clear when speaking and responding positively when listening. And this is from Massell et al. 2023. As far as implementation goes for my strategies, I will, as I was saying before about Peterson, endeavor to control my emotions, to have a healthy stomach, which makes you have a healthy heart, and then gives you a very healthy head. And continual self-reflection. This will also increase my communicative competence. Practice deep listening using the 4 basic goals of listening. Practice my role as listener using the talker listening card, and mostly this is in the listener role, making sure that my partner feels safe, that I'm being open and encouraging, and help them clarify their issues. And in all of this, show respect, to the person that I'm speaking to make them feel important. What they are saying to me is important, and only give ideas or solutions if the person that is talking feels stuck. But at no time should I influence their thoughts by pushing off on them, how I feel. In conclusion, understanding who you are as a communicator is at the heart of increasing our communication skills. Self-reflection and being honest about what we see is the beginning of being grateful. Self-reflection is necessary to ensure our skills are always optimal and lets us know what is working and what we may need to change. Peterson's flat brain theory is a way for us to identify our shortcomings by examining our emotions and how they relate to our thoughts and sense of responsibility. If I keep in mind Schultz being grateful theory, I should decrease any flat brain tango that may arise, thus increasing my communicative competence. Thank you.